Welcome back to K-Astrology, and if you're new here, welcome. My name is Kaylin, and today I'm going to be doing your February 2021 horoscope. I also do monthly tarot predictions for all 12 zodiac signs, along with pick a card readings. If you'd like to see more content from me, please subscribe to K-Astrology. Now, I'm going to leave timestamps in the description box below, so please feel free to jump straight to your sign. For those of you who are sticking around, I'm going to quickly run through your sun, moon, and rising sign horoscopes and how they differ, okay? Your rising sign, otherwise known as your ascendant sign, will always be the most overall accurate horoscope for you. It does not matter how much you identify with that rising sign, okay? You could be an Aries rising, but you're a Cancer sun and you feel more like a Cancer. That's fine. The Aries rising horoscope will be the most accurate for you. Now, with your sun horoscope, this will pertain to your conscious will and your career and any goals and ambitions that you have. Your moon sign will be in relation to, your moon sign horoscope will be in relation to all relationships in your life, your emotional state, and your living circumstances. As I said, the rising sign will be the most accurate and will encompass all of those aforementioned things. Anyway, guys, thanks for sticking around for this intro. You can now head to your timestamp in the description box below. Hi Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Risings. Welcome to your February 2021 horoscope. February is a huge month for all Aquarians across the board. But let's start from the top with Mercury being retrograde in your sign. This Mercury retrograde period will last from the 31st of January through to February 21st. And during this period, you will feel like everyone wants a piece of you and there's just not enough of you to go around. You'll be getting calls, emails, and texts from friends, co-workers, clients, family members, your children, literally people who you never normally speak to on a frequent basis will be calling you up out of the blue, and you'll be like, wow, what on earth could this person possibly want? On a different level, you may hear from ex-partners, former friends, former colleagues and clients, and anyone that you are estranged from, you may hear from them out of the blue, and that can even be family members and siblings as well. On a different level, just be mindful that you may experience miscommunications or misunderstandings, and this can be during conversations with people, but especially over the phone, via text and via email, and certainly if you're using any kind of communication device where you can't hear tone, okay? That's something just to look out for you Aquarians. Now, another way that Mercury retrograde will affect you is that you could be required to liaise or network with a lot of different people, whether that's in person, at conferences, in meetings, or even via Zoom meetings or any kind of technological platform. Now, you may actually be rethinking your appearance. You may be considering doing some kind of, making some kind of change to your hair, to how you style yourself, how you dress, even your persona as a whole. And you could even be rethinking your entire course in life. And this can be with regard to career, any kind of relationship that you're in, or even a business venture that you may want to start. And on a totally different level, Aquarius, how you identify could be something which you are thinking about a lot over the next 3 weeks. Now, on the 2nd of February, Venus will enter Aquarius in your first house. And with Venus here, you will feel more attractive. You will enjoy dressing up or even just making changes to your appearance, however subtle they may be. And you will certainly come across as more charismatic and diplomatic at this time. Now, on the 12th of February, there will be a new moon in Aquarius at 23 degrees. So new beginnings always indicate a new chapter or a new cycle in our life taking place. And this can be with regard to any of the following. It can be your appearance. Maybe you are embarking on a weight loss journey. Maybe you are changing your hairstyle or your aesthetic, however superficial that may be. Maybe some of you are considering getting plastic surgery or undergoing the knife for any kind of enhancement, or even it could actually be something to do with rectifying an issue that you've had. Maybe you broke your nose a few years ago and you're finally getting a nose job just to, correct it or put it back to the way that it was. On a totally different level and a deeper level, this new moon in Aquarius can see you starting on a new course in life. Perhaps you finally have a moment where you realize what you want to do with your life. What kind of a legacy do you want to create? What do you want to spend the rest of your life doing? And a lot of Aquarians will see new relationships forming, and some of you may even become parents. Now, I just want to give you a little time frame for when you can expect these changes to take place. So with the new moon in Aquarius on the 12th, 4 weeks out from that date, or within 4 weeks, I should say, that's when you'll be planting the seeds of these new beginnings. But you may not see the culmination of this new beginning or the effects of it until the full moon in Aquarius 6 months later, or even at the full moon in Aquarius in 18 months' time. Now, on the 18th of February, we will see the biggest astrological event occur for the whole of 2021, and this is involving both of your ruling planets, Aquarius. No other zodiac sign is more impacted than you guys by the Saturn square Uranus transit. Now, Saturn is in Aquarius, and this is in your first house, in the ascendant house, and this is squaring Uranus in Taurus in your fourth house. So this can play out in several different ways. Before I delve into those, just bear in mind, Aquarius, that this is a general reading. Some or more of the following may manifest for you, but just take what resonates and leave what doesn't. This could be some kind of crisis between yourself, how you identify, versus your family's expectations. Now, before I continue, let me just preface this by saying that Uranus represents anything which is new and sudden and shocking in nature, okay? It represents swift upheavals and sudden change. And Saturn is concerned with structure and building solid foundations. So with this tense aspect, with this square between Saturn and Aquarius, your chart rulers, Saturn and Aquarius, are basically having a standoff. And this is, on one level, going to concern how you identify and how you view yourself and how you want to be seen and how you want to be understood, versus your parents' expectations or something which goes against the cultural norms with which you were raised. So perhaps you are coming out as queer or gay, or you're telling your parents or your family, these are my pronouns and I want you to accept them and start using them. Of course, your family can take this in any number of different ways, and that can be quite shocking for you. It doesn't mean that it's going to be, the negative interpretation of shocking. On one level, maybe you're expecting them to, reject this new direction in life for you or how you are identifying, and then they shock you by being super supportive and being like, oh, we were waiting for you to tell us. On a different level, maybe you are going to butt heads with your parents over, you saying, this is who I am, please accept me. And maybe you're getting a bit of pushback from them just because they are not taking it within their stride, and you don't get the support that you want initially, doesn't mean that it won't come, Aquarius. Now, on a different level, this could be that you recently got divorced, or maybe you got divorced many years ago and you've been scared to tell your parents because they don't believe in divorce. Maybe it's against their culture or their religion or whatever it is. And now you're breaking this, news which is quite shocking or, shattering to them. It doesn't have to be received poorly. It just means that the shock is received by them, I should say. Now, on a different level, maybe your ideologies or your belief systems are going against cultural norms. Maybe you're renouncing your citizenship. Maybe you're renouncing your religion or your faith. Maybe you've turned to a new faith. Maybe you've embraced a new religion or a spiritual path in life. And again, perhaps your family just weren't expecting these changes to be coming out of your mouth, and for you to be, presenting them with this news of your new direction in life. On a different level, family secrets can certainly be a topic which is seen throughout the course of 2021. And that's because this transit of Saturn square Uranus occurs 3 times. First on the 18th of February, the second time is on June 15th, and the third time is on the 24th of December. So perhaps you adopted your child or your children and you are breaking the news to them that, we want to sit you down and we want to tell you something really important. And of course, this is something which is going to be shocking for their reality and something that they didn't expect. Maybe some Aquarius sun, moon, and risings will find out that they were in fact adopted. Perhaps you'll get in contact with your biological parents, or you'll hear from a biological child. And certainly some Aquarians will find out that the roots that they thought they came from, they're just not, what they were told or what they were raised to believe. Maybe you're going to find out about a sibling that you never knew that you had. On a completely different level, again, this is a general reading, so this won't all resonate, but for some of you, you could be starting a family. Maybe some of you had a child many, many years ago and you never told your family, whether you're estranged from your parents or your family, or maybe you adopted out that child and now they're finding out the news, or you're telling them. That's one way that it could play out. Maybe you're telling your family that you are making the decision to start a family by yourself, okay? You may not have a partner, and that's so totally okay. Maybe your parents aren't expecting this change in course for you, but you're saying, hey, I've found a donor, or we're going through a surrogate. It could be anything related to starting a family and the dynamics through which that is commenced, okay? And maybe that's just a bit of a change for your parents. Maybe they're not very worldly, or they don't know that there are new ways that things can be done these days. Now, for others of you Aquarian sun, moon, and risings, this could be with regard to your living situation, this Saturn square Uranus transit. Maybe you are relocating abroad. Maybe you've been living overseas and you're relocating back home. Whatever the scenario is, if it pertains to your living situation, the people around you were not expecting it. Your family were not expecting you to call them up and say, hey, I've decided I'm moving halfway across the world. Or maybe, you're returning home and you're like, guess what? It's been 20 years, but mom and dad, I'll see you really soon. Now, some of you might be selling your family home unexpectedly. Maybe there's a lot of emotional attachments and memories with that home, and your children or your parents aren't happy about this change. Or for some of you, in a nutshell, your living circumstances could abruptly change, and it's shocking even for you, remembering that this is these are your 2 ruling planets, okay? These changes don't have to involve other people whatsoever. It could just be that an opportunity presents itself and you have to strike while the iron is hot and get moving really quickly to basically, take this change and this opportunity with both hands and run with it. Now, lastly, with this Saturn square Uranus transit, this could affect you on a very profoundly deep and psychological level, because the 4th house doesn't just represent our parents and our roots, as in our ancestral roots and where we come from. It also shows our deep psychological foundation, okay? So some of you may realize why you felt depressed for many, many years, or if you've felt quite anxious, or if you have struggled with any kind of mental health issue, you might have a sudden yet shocking breakthrough and realize that this issue is rooted in a childhood trauma, or it even might be something which you've inherited through some kind of ancestral baggage. You're seeing these patterns and cycles repeating from your great-great-grandparents to your great-great-grandparents, your grandparents to your parents, and now to you, and you're like, the cycle stops with me. This Saturn square Uranus transit, although the effects of it might be quite jarring to a lot of you Aquarius sun, moon, and risings, ultimately, this is going to have such a profoundly healing and beneficial impact on your life, and you will certainly be more in alignment with your true purpose in life and with your higher calling. Now, on the 18th of February, we will see Pisces season commence, and that means that the sun will be transiting your second house for about 4 weeks. With the sun here, you will be more focused on your financial income, on money, what's going in, what's coming out. You'll be paying more attention to your budgets. You'll be thinking about your valuables and your possessions and assets and what everything is worth. And on less of a material level, you might be thinking about your self-worth. How much do you value yourself? Are you taking good care of yourself? Have you been neglecting looking after yourself, and maybe you've been too focused on other people, and you're like, no, it's me time now. On the 21st of February, we will see Mercury being direct in your first house, which means that this whole busy period with work, with family, with friends can finally start slowing down. If you have been waiting on important documentation or paperwork which was delayed as a result of the Mercury retrograde period, you can finally expect to receive it. But just bear in mind, Aquarius, that there is a 2-week post-retrograde period. So we call this a shadow period. So just wait until, let's say, the end of the first week of March before things can really, really calm right down. Now, on the 26th of February, Venus will enter Pisces, and this will be in your second house. So Venus is naturally quite at home in the second house, and you may actually see an increase in your income during this time, which is about 2 or 3 weeks. You may be gifted a valuable possession. Maybe you are simply spending more money on yourself, whether that's going for massages, facials, sprucing up your wardrobe a bit, or investing in makeup, or even buying yourself a nice watch. With Venus here in the second house, you're actually indulging yourself, and that can be going out for a 5-course meal, or it could even be just buying your favorite cake because you've worked really hard and you deserve it. Now, lastly, in February, we will have a full moon in Virgo at 8 degrees, and it's in your 8th house. Now, with a full moon in the 8th house, well, I should start by saying full moons always represent the ending of a cycle or a chapter, or coming full circle in some way. So with this occurring in your 8th house, you may be receiving an inheritance. Some of you may see an increase in your mutual resources. This can be a result of your partner having an increase in their pay, and obviously you are benefiting as a result. Perhaps you are receiving money from client services that you offer, and then that's bolstering your mutual resources together. Or if you have a business partner, perhaps the two of you are seeing your mutual resources or your bank account, your joint bank account, fattening up a bit as a result of this full moon. On a completely different level, some of you may be completing some kind of educational course or certification in one or more of the following areas: finance, emergency services work, such as let's say paramedics as an example, or even if you're like a surgeon or working in the medical field, you can see the completion of some coursework in this area. It could be pertaining to psychology, Reiki, astrology, tarot, gemology, okay, anything to do with the medical, spiritual, or occult industries. Lastly, with the full moon in Virgo, some of you may feel as though you've finally reached a state of emotional security, or you could have received, let's call it a healing, okay, from a Reiki master, someone who is a clairvoyant or a psychic medium. All this emotional security may have been achieved by many months of hard work with your psychologist or with your therapist. And in terms of the time frame of all of this, you want to look back either 6 months ago or 18 months ago. You know, what courses did you start 6 months ago or 18 months ago? What new stream of income did your partner start working on during that time? Or did you simply start seeing your psychologist 6 months or 18 months ago? Well, Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Risings, that's all I have for you for February 2021. If you enjoyed this horoscope, please give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more content from me, please subscribe to K Astrology. I will leave a link in the end screen below for my tarot predictions for February 2021, so you can check those out for your zodiac sign. Anyway, enjoy your month ahead, Aquarius, and I will see you guys in March 2021.